The following contest is an Ironman match. On the way to the ring, please welcome Kelly. And the opponent, from Los Angeles, California, Melina.
A big New England welcome from Portland, Maine. This is good old JR Jim Ross here with Jerry the King Lawler.
I've never seen a crowd so fired up, JR. They can't wait to get started, and neither can I.
That makes two of us, King. I don't think Portland's going to know what hit it after tonight.
Oh no, this is terrible. You can't let your opponent build this kind of momentum.
Well, all I can say is someone's been eating their vitamins and saying their prayers.
Yes, that was an incredible move. What?
We could be looking at a pinfall here, folks. 1, 2. Oh my, Kelly is showing us something here tonight.
I wish you'd show a little bit more. She's an exhibitionist, you know.
How could I forget? That's all you were talking about before this match started.
Well, I can't help it. I'm passionate about the things that interest me.
It's an unusual treat to see the bodacious Melina in active competition. She's typically known as the brains behind superstars like Johnny Nitro.
That's a little disrespectful to Nitro, isn't it, JR? Are you saying that he'd be lost without her?
I'll borrow one of your lines, King. All I'm saying is that if brains were dynamite, I don't think Nitro would have enough to blow his nose.
Well,
I don't believe it. We might see a superstar get beat for their own finishing move here.
can you believe we actually get paid to do this job, JR?
It's like a dream come true, King. Except when I have to sit here and listen to you drool over the divas.
Come on, JR. You know I'm helpless when it comes to puppies.
Oh, I know, King. And that's why I'm bringing a pitcher of ice water out here with me next time.
I think we're going to find out just how much punishment the human body can withstand here tonight.
I think you're right, King. These superstars seem intent on taking each other to the limit.
I love that attitude, JR. Go big or go home.
Well, these superstars sure aren't going home until this match is settled once and for all.
So, how do you think this one's going to turn out, JR?
Honestly, King, I have absolutely no idea. Anything can happen here in the WWE.
But you've got to have a guess, right?
I might, but I'd rather keep it to myself if it's all the same to you, King.
I wonder if Kelly's doing any...
Look at the confidence radiating off this superstar.
All I see is an overconfident superstar who's throwing away the match by not following up. Wow, could you be any more biased, JR? How about some fair and balanced commentary?
I think this crowd's giving these superstars a piece of their minds, King.
Are you sure they can afford it, JR? Boy, Melina's one of those divas you just can't take your eyes off of, JR.
You certainly can't, especially if you're the referee. You know it's only a matter of time before this Jezebel tries to take advantage in this matchup.
You say that like it's a bad thing, JR. I wouldn't mind if she tried to take advantage of me. Is there even going to be anything left of these superstars by the time they're done?
Not if they have their... Are you seeing what I'm seeing, King? Looks like turnabout is fair play. And here's the pin. 1, 2, 3. Oh boy. The adrenaline is pumping. I think this could be the beginning of the end.
No! You can't end like this! Come on, do something, quick! Climbing up the turnbuckle isn't bad. It's all the ways you could come down that hurt.
Boy, howdy. This Kelly is something else, isn't she?
She sure is. She's almost enough to make me say something nice about ECW. Almost. I know a woman like Melina's nothing but trouble, JR, but I think she might...
Did you see that? Ring the damn bell! You can't let somebody get away with that!
I don't think the ref saw it, JR. And if the ref doesn't see it, it's not illegal.
This match is going to continue until someone's completely debilitated. And considering the resiliency of these superstars, that's not going to be easy.
That's for sure. No one in this match is going down without a fight.
And I wouldn't expect any less from them, King. Like them or not, you've got to respect the tenacity of... Oh no! The referee's been knocked out! This can't be good!
Are you kidding? Now anything goes! It doesn't get any better than that, JR.
And now a pin! This could be it!
Did you ever...
And there's the cover! 1, 2... Come on! That should be a disqualification right there!
What are you talking about, JR? I didn't see anything.
The crowd is making their opinions known tonight.
They sure are, JR, and I love to hear it.
I've got a feeling that this has all the makings of an instant classic.
That's probably just gas, JR.
Well, I did have some good old Oklahoma barbecue before tonight's show, but I don't think that's it, King.
Well, from the
look at this! Look at this! You talk about a house of fire, you're seeing it right here!
Yeah? Well, somebody better put out that fire, or this one's not gonna end well.
This could be a pinfall! 1, 2, 3.
might have a few years on Kelly, but fortunately for her, I don't have a problem dating younger women.
I should hope not. At your age, I'd imagine that's most of them.
I don't think that these superstars have even contemplated the fact that they might lose.
I'm sure they have. That's not the kind of attitude you come in with and expect to pick up the win.
You're right about that, JR. If you can't see yourself having your arm raised...
No! No! How can the referee allow something like that? What a disgusting display. I guess a little sportsmanship was too much to ask for.
They say, all's fair in love and war, JR. And those two sure don't love each other.
I think this crowd has decided to exercise their right of free speech.
God bless the First Amendment, JR.
Melina's such an amazing young talent, and what a rag. What a great addition she would be to the Women's Championship picture.
I can't imagine there are many things you could add Melina to that wouldn't make them better, JR. I can think of one or two right off the top of my head. We could have a pinfall here, JR.
Two.
I think these superstars have legitimate beef with each other, JR.
So do I, King. I'm not so sure their issues with each other are going to be solved with one match.
I hope not. I'd love to see...
You're putting a lot on the line when you climb that turnbuckle. Oh, would you look at that? That was completely uncalled for.
It's not cheating if you don't get caught, JR. There's the pin!
1, 2, 3.
You can look at any professional sport you want, JR, and you won't find more incredible athletes than the WWE Superstars.
You're not wrong, King. They compete every week until they are physically incapable of continuing. There's no off-season in the WWE.
We're not talking about running a ball down a field or slapping a puck into a net. This is serious physical competition.
It sure is. The toughest athletes in the world are on the WWE roster, and that's a fact.
After some of the things we've seen in this ring, JR, I think we'd better remind the folks at home not to try this stuff themselves.
That's for damn sure, King. The WWE Superstars are trained professionals.
And even they don't walk away from every match in the best shape.
They sure don't. We've seen more than one superstar taken out of here on a stretcher.
You gotta respect the commitment and the dedication of these superstars to their careers.
No question about it, King. Every superstar on the roster has had to make more sacrifices than any other professional athlete I know.
It really is like being married to your career. There's not much room for anything else.
And marriage is a subject.
Oh my gosh! Can you imagine getting beaten with your own finisher, JR? I think someone's going for a high-risk move, JR.
Kelly certainly is a beautiful young woman. But I'm sure you wouldn't have anything to do with a ECW vixen now, would you?
Well, hold on there. Kelly's a young woman, and she's bound to make a mistake or two.
Gee, let me guess. You're hoping to be her next... This is her chance.
Ow! It's like that a few times in my day. I didn't deserve it. Flat on your back with your shoulders on the mat is no place to be. Looks like someone's heading for the high rent district.
You've got to be in seventh heaven, Kingfish. It's not often we get to see Melina in action like this.
You know it, JR. I could never get enough of Melina, but I'd sure like to try.
Would you look at that? A blatant...
Here's the pin! Could this be it?
1, 2... Boy, what a match. I wouldn't even hazard a guess as to who's going to win this thing.
What? Have you got both your contacts in one eye, JR? It's been obvious to me since the start of the match.
Oh, really? Well then, why don't you just enlighten the rest of us, King?
No way! I can already tell this is going to be a great match, and I don't want to ruin the ending for you.
You're too kind, King. You're also full of horse manure, as far as I can tell. What an incredible performance by these phenomenal superstars.
Did you expect anything less, JR? I mean, look who's in the ring right now.
No, I didn't, King. I had high expectations, and I'm happy to say that this match has exceeded them all.
Wow! Stealing your opponent's finishing move definitely sends a message. Talk about ruthless aggression. Look at the way these superstars have been going after each other.
They're not playing with kid gloves, that's for sure.
We knew we were going to see a heck of a match, but this might turn out to be... No, go ahead and say it, JR.
All right, I will. I think this one's got all the makings of a bona fide slobber knocker. I'll tell you what, King, the WWE Superstars are about the greatest athletes you'll find in any sport, period.
What do you mean, just about, JR? Can you actually think of... Did you see that, JR? What great strategy.
Strategy, hell. That was a blatant violation of the rules. You can fool some of the people all of the time, and all the people some of the time, but there's no fooling the WWE fans at all.
I think it's pretty obvious which way this one's going to go, JR.
Well, from my perspective, this is still anybody's match.
I'd like to see things from your perspective, JR, but I'd have to get my head out of the rear end first.
Lord knows it's been up there for so long that that would be no easy feat. One, two, three. A lot of blood, sweat, and tears have been shed in that very ring.
And I think there's going to be a lot more shed here tonight.
No doubt about that, King. These superstars are going to leave it all in the ring. You can count on that.
Superstar shows the slightest hint of weakness, they've lost the match.
That's for sure. No matter how beat up you are, you can't ever let your opponent know the extent of your injuries.
And that's easier said than done, JR. The human body can only absorb so much punishment. think these fans have gotten their money's worth tonight, JR?
If they haven't yet, I'm sure they're going to by the end of this match.
Well, I don't say this too often, but I completely agree with you.
These superstars are going to put each other through wrestling hell tonight.
They've already got a pretty good start on that, JR.
They have indeed, King. I don't think there's an ounce of quit between them.
Yeah, and that's where things get dangerous. If you're too proud to admit that it's not your night, you might wind up risking your career for a single match.
But at the same time, King, no one makes it up the ladder without pushing themselves to the very limit. It's a very fine line to walk. You've got to ask yourself, how much punishment will these superstars be able to withstand tonight?
I don't know, JR, but I think they're pretty intent
Why?
on finding out.
Oh, come on down. How about a little more wrestling and a little less posture?
It's called adding insult to injury, JR, and I think it's great. Oh no, I think she's going in for the kill.
And there was no way her opponent could get away from that face buster.
Here's your winner, Melina.